What would you do? What would you do if one morning when you went down the stairs, you found out that everyone else in the world had turned into apples and pears? Maybe you wouldn't be bothered. Maybe you wouldn't feel glum. Perhaps you'd just make a tasty fruit salad out of your dad and your mum. What would you do if one evening, whilst you were watching TV, you heard that out of the zoo in the city, a rhinoceros had broken free? Maybe you wouldn't be panicked, maybe you wouldn't break into a sweat. Perhaps you'd just catch it, tie it up to a tree and keep it as your pet. What would you do if one afternoon whilst you were mopping the floor, a bunch of slimy and grimy old aliens came knocking at your door? Maybe you wouldn't feel flustered, maybe you wouldn't shriek. Perhaps you'd just say, "Come on in, folks, you can stay in my house for the week." What would you do if one day you went to the beach for a swim and you found that the sea had vanished, so no longer could you jump in? Maybe you wouldn't be worried or have an anxiety attack. Perhaps you just stroll all the way to America, say hello, and then stroll back. What would you do if so suddenly dogs began to talk, saying, "Don't worry about me this evening, I'll just take myself out for a walk"? Maybe it wouldn't surprise you, and when you heard the news, perhaps you just say, "That's wonderful," and give them some comfortable shoes. What would you do if one weekend, whilst taking a snooze in a chair, you woke up to discover that all of a sudden you had 35 meters of hair? Maybe you wouldn't be fussed at all. Maybe it'd be just your thing. Perhaps you just have it tied to a pole and back and forth you'd swing. Yes, if any of these things were to happen to you, just ask yourself, what would you do?